Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, 10/23/23, October 23rd, 2023. I had to say that. You know what? Not too much happened today. Like we said, it's going to be slow cruising in to November sweeps. So, Sunny, he's trying to, I'm not going to start with Sunny. I'm going to start with Cyrus Renault. I tell you what, everybody, I got to hand it to him. He's got kahunas. He's got some guts on him. He intentionally sought out Portia Robinson. God has made him a changed man. And Portia, was Portia in true Portia style, and I don't blame her. Oh, she did not buy it. She told him, I know you are not reformed, and I know this is an act. And she says, and you have no business coming near me or my daughter or my family. And he goes, I just wanted to make amends and I wanted to seek your forgiveness because the Lord has forgiven me. She says, you do not get my forgiveness. I want you to stay away from me. Don't ever. I can't stop you from coming into this hospital because it's a hospital, but I can ensure you don't ever approach me. She goes, I will get a restraining order. Well, there's no need for this. She goes, then don't ever approach me again. And I better not hear you approach my daughter. And then he goes, oh, I did. I heard about, terrible thing. Your husband got shot. He must feel horrible not being able to protect you. And she looked at him. See, because when he said that, I thought, well, goodness, that's a little teeny tiny veiled threat. Because see, it was Curtis that came to the rescue. And he was saying, I thank God your husband intervened when he did. And my dear sister, because everybody, and Jordan Ashford, everybody had a role in my now salvation. So as soon as she said, and your husband not being able to protect you the way he used to, she said, get out of my sight now, now. And so she's walking away, and she goes, and I promise you, if you ever approach me again, I will get a restraining order. So she walks away mad, but she walks around the corner and now she's scared. She's crying and scared, naturally so, because she relived what he did to her. And when they replayed that scene, I forgot what he looked like back then. Oh my goodness. Because he did wear a ponytail most of the time. I like this clean shaven look. I really like this short hair, clean shaven. It works wonders for him. It really, really does. So we have Cody going to visit Sam. He brought her a thank you gift for believing him and helping with Sasha. It was an autographed soccer ball, from the women's soccer league or team. And so she was really happy. And he was ended up telling her about Mac. Um, and he told her he had told Sasha about her. And she goes, you trust Sasha enough to tell her a secret like that. Don't you think you should tell her that you really want her to stay? And he goes, she said the movers were coming this morning. She's probably already gone. And Sam is like, you don't know that, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't care where she goes. She got a phone. Pick it up and call her. See, in soap operas, they don't have, oh goodness, phones. Come on now. I wanted to tell you I left some bread in the cupboard. I got to come see you to tell you that. I can't call or text. But anyway, um, you know, so Dante goes to see Sasha. And he was telling Sasha that, when he went through his trauma, when he was brainwashed and he was afraid he was a danger to his family, his first instinct was to run. He said things had changed so much. He says, just the time I spent away, the trauma, nothing seemed familiar. And I wasn't comfortable with anybody. I wanted to run. He says, but I didn't. He says, my family, my mom, really, it was really Olivia, you know, they gave me the space I needed, but they also told me how much they need me. He says, and I tell you, you have family here, Sasha. He said, Brando was family. That makes you family. Because he told her, you've got friends, you've got Brooklyn, you've got Maxie, you've got Chase, you've got Nina, and he's like, you've got me and you've got Sam now and Cody. You have people, Sasha. Because see, running away, going somewhere where you don't know anybody and they don't know you, it doesn't change the trauma that happened to you. It's just now you're alone there. So he just told her, just think about it. But see, now look, Cyrus Renault in the picture. I don't like that. Oh my God, I really wish she would be gone because I don't want to see her be afraid of Cyrus to just be traumatized by him. Because let's all face it, he's full of it. Cyrus Renault's full of it. He's no more reformed than the man on the moon. So he left and he told her, just know this, wherever you go, you have family. So she goes, thank you, Dante. And we have Brooklyn and Lois talking. And Lois ends up telling her, Tracy said she got that company. She plans on giving it to you, Brookie. And she goes, because if the music business doesn't work out the way you want, she wants you to have something. And Brooklyn says, Granny doesn't do nothing. It's not for her. See, after she makes a big stink, big mess, it's ugly, it's messy, then, oh, I did it for you. She goes, I ain't buying it. And so Brooklyn says, and I'm not going to fail in the music business. Because she said, I'm this close to getting Blaze signed on, her first act signed on paper. And she goes, until the deal is done, right? She's nervous. So Lois tells her, because Brooklyn says, I'm going to go find Granny and I'm going to tell her there's no way I'd ever take that company. And so Lois says, hold on, Bricky. I've got something else in mind. And I'm thinking, okay, Lois is going to say, take it. And then either give it to Maxie and Tracy. And Lucy. And actually just give it to Maxie. Or who knows, Lois might say, look, give it to me, Brookie. Look, show her nails. I've got good fashion sense. We'll see. But I really believe it's take it and then give it to your friends. You want to make amends for what you did, take it and give it back to them. And that will make amends. But I wouldn't give Lucy back the control she had. And I would keep, Brooklyn should keep 10% and give Maxie 21% and Tracy 20%. That's what I would do. But I would keep a piece of that for myself. Seriously, there's no reason she shouldn't. So I will see what happens with that. We'll see where they're going to go with that. We also have just nothing talk. Mac is talking to Kevin. They're getting caught up, and then sleazy Scott Baldwin comes up talking about, I heard my name, and blah, 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 and then Cyrus comes into the Metro Court and says, excuse me, I'd like to speak to my attorney. And they look at Scott, because Scott was saying, I have a conscience. And when he said, my attorney, they looked at him, and Scott was like, ooh. So he says, come on over here, Cyrus. Look, I was your attorney that one time. You don't have me on retainer. And so Cyrus says, to the contrary, no, you were excellent. And I am going to use you for some future endeavors. And Scott just looks at him like, well, how much you want to pay me for it? See, Scott ain't above. He ain't above representing Cyrus at all, if the money's right. That's Scott Baldwin, if the money is right. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we have Sonny. Mm. Sonny called Wu in, and I knew that was going to be a reckoning. And so did she. He says, I want to know. He goes, there's a code that's followed amongst allies. And I thought you were an ally, Selena. Why, I am an ally, Sonny. He goes, no, an ally would have told me that Gladys Corbin was losing a lot of money to you. An ally wouldn't have even let that happen. And then she goes, well, she wanted to join my gang. And she was okay, but she's rambunctious. And then she started losing. Sure, the money came in a little slow, but she always paid. And then when she lost a lot, she sold me her son's garage that squared us up. And then she wanted credit, and I gave her credit. Well, she started losing, and then she wanted credit, but she assured me she had access to Sasha Gilmore's money. And Sonny says, see that right there? You should have told me what was going on with my family. And this is where I have a problem with you, Selena. Because you didn't act like an ally. And if you're not my ally, because Selena started to say something else, he goes, wait, I want you to stop and think, because it's crucial. The very next thing that comes out of your mouth, what you're going to say, can determine a lot regarding our relationship. And she looks, so she then says, you're right. I should have kept you abreast as to what was happening. After all, she is family. I should have let you know what was happening and how much in debt she was to me. She goes, as a matter of fact, Sonny, I regret ever letting her into my poker games. And he goes, okay, all right. Now, as an ally, she goes, what can I do to make it up to you? He goes, well, as an ally, I'm sure you're aware that Cyrus Renault is out. I am aware. And as an ally, I want you to let me know his every move. I have my eye on him, and I want your eyes on him. She goes, I assure you, I value our business arrangement. And so she says, I will keep you abreast. And she walks out, her face is like, hate answering to him, right? And so Dex shows her out. And then he comes back to Sonny and he goes, you think you could trust her? And Sonny said, look, let me tell you something about Selena. Selena does what's good for her own business interests, period. He said, that's why I have to keep her close to me. I have to keep eyes on Selena. So for right now, yeah, for right now, he goes, but I gotta make sure that I get a handle on this whole situation. And Sonny was telling Dex that we have got to take out Mason's boss, him and Austin are working for. And so Sonny's like, and I know who, right? And he goes, yeah, because see, Cyrus Renault had a heart attack, and then Austin was seeing somebody in Pittenville, and he goes, Dex goes, you think it's Cyrus? He goes, oh yeah, yeah. So he goes, you want me to pay a visit to Austin right now, boss? He goes, no, no, not yet. That's what he goes, I got to get all my ducks lined up, my allies. I got to make sure they're going to be loyal to me. And that's when Selena came because he had called her, right? So we're going to see. Sonny knows it's going to be a war because Cyrus has always wanted to take over. See, and now that it's only two families at the head of the table, Selena and Sonny, all the other three families are gone. And remember, Cyrus wanted to be the head of the five families, and Carly knocked that out the box, right? Because Cyrus actually had nuzzled himself into a place. He nuzzled himself as a seat at the table. And then he was trying to nuzzle Carly. He was trying to take over since Sonny was incapacitated, gone, disappeared. He was trying to nudge up his little minor seat to the head seat at the table. And that's when Carly came walking in. Boy, she came walking in and them heels and that woman, she's like, oh no, this seat ain't vacant. As a matter of fact, Cyrus was sitting in it. And Carly came walking up. And who was by her side when she did that? I can't remember. If anybody remembers, because she walked over to that seat and she looked down and she told Cyrus, get up. And he had to get up because the families were there. See, and that wasn't his seat. They still had a pecking order. And she sat down there and she said, I'm taking over. Right? So anyway, I loved it when she did that. I loved it when she took over. I could go back and watch that episode again. But so Sonny's gearing up, and wow, this is gonna be good. We may have some mob wars in November. That may be something they're gonna do for the sweeps as well. So let's go to comment corner, because nothing else happened. We got a lot of comments today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of them. I am going to set my trusty dusty stopwatch, and I am going to go ahead. Last time I went from the top down. This time I'm going to go from the bottom up. And from the bottom up, we have Elizabeth. I mean, Joan. Joan says, Elizabeth said that Jake has a girlfriend. Charlotte is popular in school. Then Charlotte tells Laura she has no friends. I know. Isn't that funny? Hello there says, I noticed the same thing. Either the writers dropped the ball or Charlotte is lying through her teeth for false sympathy. Charlotte is lying through her teeth for false sympathy. NK Rose says maybe she's popular, but not feeling not feeling emotionally connected to the other kids. Joan says, I want one of Aiden's cupcakes, a little mogo. Ron says, Esme played the mother card Spencer didn't like. Drew is not a flight risk. The shackles were over the top. I know. I am says all prisoners are treated like that regardless of the risk. Yeah, it could be. But I don't recall Cyrus having those shackles on. Sandy says, Esme knows exactly what she's doing. She will use Ace to get what she wants. And that seems to be Spencer. Why is Spencer even living with Laura? Ava gave him some money so he can afford his own house. Yes, he can. He has 10,000 a week. Alexis needs to get back in the courtroom with Diane. I am says at this point he'll move Esme in. And I am Lisa says to I am if he moves Esme in to his house, Trina needs to tell him to kick rocks. I agree. I agree. And then Lisa says Esme is using Ace to manipulate Spencer into spending more time with her and Ace. She shut down Spencer going to the doctors with Ace as punishment for going away with Trina for the weekend. Exactly. Like I said, how many appointments, doctor's appointments, did little Ace need to have? And then we have P. Merle says, didn't Trina drop the charges against Esme? This means that her assets are no longer frozen. Why doesn't Esme have access to her own funds? I'm sure they're more than Alexis is paying. Uh, take, get son and move out. Take your son and move out. She'll find out that single motherhood with no support system is not easy. I hate how the writers are portraying her as a good mother. She's still faking, a witch faking amnesia. What's her end game? I am says dropped without prejudice and her age. Diana Robert set up that if her memory returns, she could be charged. Yes, they did. Lisa says they need to get the stuff Victor left Spencer to see if it is real. They have proof. They have the proof they need. If Spencer wants Ace, that is all he needs to do. Okay. And then Lisa says Spencer wanting to went to the parenting classes because she wanted them. Portia pushed Esme to ask Spencer to those classes. Esme is trying to get on Spencer's nerve because he went away with Trina. Spencer needs to back off. He doesn't need to be at every doctor's appointment. That's right. He wants to control Ace being raised the way he wants him raised. Spencer's only interested in Trina and Ace. This is it. He has no hobbies, nor does he feel the need for more education. I know. He needs to get a job because he has 10,000 a week allowance doesn't mean he doesn't need a goal in life. Robert is going to have to work for a relationship with Diane. She deserves to be the front and center of a relationship, not the second place by any means. I agree with you, Lisa. Gassia says, I feel Portia is trying to break up Spencer and Trina by switching the DNA test to make Spencer the father of Ace. Portia will lose her daughter and her job as co-chief. They would bring back Lisa Ulbrich as co-chief job instead. GH should recast Monica Quartermain. I think she's such a staple. They won't recast her. Monica's always been Monica. And once she's really done, they'll just, you will never see her. Like we haven't seen Graham, the one that played Audra. Denise says, I can't wait for Nicholas to come back to be the father to Ace, leaving Spencer out in the cold. Hi, Daily Recap Lady DL says, GH has been boring this week. Can't wait to get back to Nina. Also, they need justice for all that Gladys did to Sasha. I know, just having Gladys leave town is not enough. It is not. Sonny needs to fork over some cash and make Sasha whole. He's got the money. I am says, didn't Esme always use emotional blackmail against Spencer? Looks like old habits return to inflict more pain. I agree. Kevin needs to be involved. Kevin did a remarkable work with Cameron when he wanted to kill Jason for Frankel's murder. I believe Leslie took a murder charge for Laura. That's Cyrus's reason for believing they are alike. Valentine is crazy. He knows Victor used tarot cards to brainwash Drew. GH writers are doing it again. Super spies don't lose their edge. I know. Also, Valentine needs to break, uh, made a break, sounds like a break up. Yeah. Well, they need to break them up now. They're not a great super couple anymore. Neon Moon says they need to bring Montgomery on full time. Yes, they do. Goodness gracious. Diane needs to leave Robert in the dust. I think she and Montgomery would have great chemistry and they would be a powerful couple. Wow, Jackson and Diane. Why, yes. Lisa says Alexis needs to get that Judge Kim to drop the sentence he gave um, and do time served on Drew, which is what she's trying. Alexis is not playing. I love Alexis flexing her lawyer muscles. The judge went right to his car and called his clerk to recall Drew's case. Lucy says, when the judge told his clerk to get Drew's case files, that was a good Friday cliffhanger. Yes. And Lisa says, I would love to see Carly Aiden's baked goods. See Carly to sell those baked goods at Kelly's. I think that would be too cute, just too cute. Because Aiden is Carly's, he's related to Carly because Aiden is Lucky's son. And Lucky and Carly are cousins. So Aiden is like her little second cousin, something like that, right? So that's family. Carly, go ahead. So Lisa says, Cyrus and his I found God fake thing, nobody's falling for it. He needs to stop this fake religious act. Diane is not going to be second in any relationship with a man. No, she's not. I feel the stories already slowing down, like the old writers had them. All the stories were going to be in slow motion again. Yeah, these new writers sped things up, and I loved it. Lisa says when it comes out that Portia altered the test, if they do a DNA test, Trina will never forgive her. Spencer says how great of a mother Esme is. He needs to let her do it. Exactly. She's so good. Let her be a mother. And then N.K. Rose says John York is Mac. I'll bet Paul Tuck Police is bought by Cyrus. You're 100% right. Right? See? And Dante's Sonny's son. So that's also why they want an investigation. And N.K. Rose says, heck, even though Esme liked psychology. And then Aisha, goodness, you gave a nice long comment. Everybody go on in and read Aisha's comment. It's really, really good. We're already at 10 minutes, so I'm not going to dive into the comment. But Aisha, excellent comment. Catherine says, Trina, it's a high achieving, ambition, talented young woman. Spencer has nothing. She will try for his lack of ambitions. Esme is working and raising Spencer. She has nothing else. Spencer is only there when he wants. He could be a full-time nanny at least. Lucy says, hi, Daily Recap Lady. Always enjoys your channel and your pictures, your recaps, and on Comment Corner. Why, thank you so much, Lucy. And Lucy also says, when Trina asked Spencer about his goals in life, I laughed out loud when his answer was have fun and enjoy myself. Come on, Trina. You need a guy that's like you, ambitious and into having a career. But I don't know who that guy would be. And then Cindy says, all the hype about Spencer being Ace's brother could be a lead in to finding out that he's actually Ace's father. If Esme drugged him and got him off screen, This could be true and could affect his relationship with Trina. It could be the first time writers, it wouldn't be the first time writers use the flashback that never happened scene method in a storyline, which is 100% true. Cindy says the show is totally ruining Esme. She's no longer trying to come between Spencer and Trina, so her current storyline is altogether boring. She is meant to be a villain. And Cindis also says Michael hasn't discussed any of this with his wife, stepsister, his wife, stepsister Willow. That's funny. It could be interesting to see how this would affect their marriage, which has been stable to date. LaShawn says Rick Weber is Elizabeth's uncle, and Rick Weber is Laura's adoptive father. He was married to Laura's mother, Leslie. Okay. All right. That's it for Comment Corner. Comment Corner. So everybody go back and read Aisha's comment. Excellent, excellent. My goodness. Great, great. I love the way you wrote that. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.